And
little live thing, sir?
we're live. We're here to talk about a very unfortunate situation. I am here with Spin It Reviews.
Sup? You might recognize me as the edgy teen from the infamous Papa Roach review.
Is it already infamous? Like,
World infamous.
it's only been out for like 4 or 5 hours.
You don't even know, man. It's been going around them circles, been circulating.
Well, we can only hope that the band themselves see it and decide to take action. Legal action against me. And we're live. Oh, I gotta mute myself.
Yeah.
I do that every time.
Come on, son. Come on, son.
Oh, and the computer's freaking out. The computer is freaking out.
You might recognize me.
We got it. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so before anything else, I do want to show you guys one thing. I was initially gonna post a rant about this and then just like have this as the intro, but I feel like this will supply more. So as I've said in a couple of videos, I live in Encinitas, California, which is where the flagship store for Macbeth is, Tom DeLonge's clothing store. So on the way back from errands, I figured I'd take the opportunity to head over there.
And
Oh crap, the screen is all...
it's a big white blob, Mark.
Yeah, I know. But it's just me screaming in the car in front of it, screaming, "Why? Why?"
Well, at least you were able to pretty much you broke it to that guy about the. Well, first of all, before that, let's assume that nobody knows anything, and let's start from the beginning. From
Oh yeah, we actually do have to break some people.
So. The main headline to take away from this is you probably saw from the title of this hangout everything you need to know about blink-182's split with Tom DeLonge. Basically, what's gone down, they did an interview with Radio.com this morning, Mark and Travis did, and in that they said they were going forward with Matt Skiba of Alkaline Trio, and all the posters for festivals and stuff basically said Blink-182 with Matt Skiba, and basically we're saying that Tom has quit the band. And,
essentially.
Essentially, or kind of like what happened back in like 2004, 2005, whenever Tom quit the first time. Basically saying that he was going to go on an indefinite hiatus from the group. And this time he's listing non-musical endeavors as what he's going to be doing, which I kind of call bullshit on that, don't you?
He's probably just going to do like 5 more short films for this one album.
Well, I literally like a couple of tweets before what he was tweeting today and like posting on Instagram about like, oh, I'm not leaving the band. And he's talking about non-musical projects. He's talking about working on a music video for Tunnels from the most recent Angels and Airwaves album. So
that's pretty musical.
Yeah, that's pretty damn musical, Mark. And well, hello to everyone, by the way, that's coming in. We got 17 people.
Yeah, hi. Okay, back to business. Okay, and the latest development, and probably the thing that prompted this hangout the most, is that afterwards, just to kind of set the record straight, Mark Hoppus and Travis Barker, the other members of Blink-182, in case you didn't know, did an interview with Rolling Stone, which I guess now makes Rolling Stone okay.
Yes.
Where they basically let it all out on the line, saying all the crap that Tom's done over the last few years and how it's held up their process in recording this new album and doing tour dates and everything. And I gotta be honest, like, this is the kind of thing where, like, I was shocked at first, quote unquote, but after like 5 seconds, I realized that it's not really a surprise, because I always knew, like, subconsciously that this kind of burst of transparency was gonna happen one of these days. because you could tell there was like a lot of covering up going on in the Blink camp.
Absolutely. And like Mark and Travis said in this interview with Rolling Stone, I'm putting it in the description right now if you guys would like to see it. There's a link. It should be the top line in the description. Let's see. Go live now. Hope I didn't mess anything up because I just clicked say, okay, it's trying to take me into a new... What have I done? What did I do, Mark? What did I do?
What have you? I don't know.
I
don't see your window.
I tried to update the description for the video. I put the link in there, but it's not letting me.
Oh well. I mean, maybe it's because you ended the hangout. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, people will probably see it in their feed anyway if you commented about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, besides we have a few people here anyway. Okay, so let's just continue on with this. So you were saying?
Yeah, what I was going to say is that, what was I going to say? I forgot where we were.
Well,
Sorry.
I was saying that, like, and I'm really not surprised because this kind of burst of transparency was going to happen one of these days.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mark and Travis have been covering up for years. They had to do it back in the day. They kind of kept their mouth shut on the whole thing, but now it's just so out in the open. You know, like, they've really just kind of spilled everything out, and I think it's good. You know, it might seem like they're being mean or coming down on Tom, etc., but I don't see it as that. I see it as two frustrated band members that want to play Blink-182 music, and one that's just kind of being basically a selfish asshole and only playing when he wants to, only recording when he wants to. You know, Mark basically said, you know, whenever we did Dogs Eating Dogs back in 2012, Tom calls up in October, says that he wants to do an EP for Christmas. You know, Mark, living in London, is there within 5 days to start recording because that's what Tom wanted to do. But whenever they want to get in the studio, it's delay after delay, and you know they have to keep apologizing. And it's basically like Tom is to Blink-182 what Serj Tankian is to System of a Down.
I mean, personally, yeah, those cases are pretty similar. But I don't know. I feel like I have a little bit. I feel like I'm a little more of an apologist when it comes to Serj Tankian stuff because you could tell that he's really doing a lot of like creative stuff. Even though I've never really been into System of a Down. Like you can tell that is a little. I don't know. But in this case, yeah, I know that people aren't going to misconstrue this as just like them bashing for the sake of bashing or just caught stirring up drama. But in a way, like. This really is a long time coming. Like it's just them being honest about the fact that Tom has not been honest with them.
No, Tom hasn't been honest about what he's truly feeling.
Yeah, and because like there's at one part where he says where either Mark or Travis said that once Tom said or Tom's manager said that Tom is done, like. Mark was actually, or Travis was actually really happy about it because they finally got a straight answer for the first time in like 2 years.
Yeah, and they're saying, you know, they haven't even seen Tom in person in quite a while. You know, he doesn't even speak to them.
Over 2 years. That's what he said.
No, it hasn't been 2 years. He was saying that because they play live shows.
Right.
But he was saying that it's been, you know, through the past 2 years that they've struggled, and basically most of the time it's all done through email, and it's like. The whole holdup was for the album, supposedly, was we need a label, let's get a label. So they signed a label deal Christmas Eve, just a few weeks ago, like a month ago, actually. Now it's been just over a month ago that they signed, all three of them, a record deal over email. And they were supposed to go into the studio January 5th. And guess what? That doesn't happen because Tom DeLonge is too much of a coward to own up to his own bandmates and actually... just tell them straight up, I don't want to play music with you guys anymore. I don't want to record with you guys.
Yeah, and exactly. And in a way, like, I feel like this is just kind of leading on the fans because, like, I mean, Mark and Travis, like, another thing they pointed out is that, like, if you look at any of their social media accounts, it's pretty clear where each of their priorities lie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Mark and Travis are like, sure, sure, Mark might be promoting his podcast or like little other projects he's doing here and there, and same thing for Travis, like maybe like when he released that EP with Yellow Wolf and stuff like that. But you could tell their main focus was always on Blink. But
Absolutely.
meanwhile, like I've had Tom DeLonge's page liked for maybe a year or two now, and like maybe 5% of the posts, if that, are Blink related.
Most of them are related to his Strange Times website that he runs.
Angels and Airwaves.
Yeah, and of course Angels and Airwaves. Yeah, and everything that goes along with that, all the short films and that sort of thing.
And I mean, granted, I mean they just released an album late last year, so it makes sense, I guess. But at the same time, like, there's not really much of acknowledgement that he's in two different bands at once. He just kind of acts like I'm the guy from Angels and Airwaves, and Blink is just kind of this other thing, this other childish thing that I did 20 years ago in my youth. You know?
It's like he's ashamed of Blink-182 in some ways.
Exactly.
And I think that it's
like,
wrong.
And like,
what? Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, and like even with a neighborhood, like if you listen to Neighborhoods, like looking back, like even though I do like that album, like I like it more. I mean, I like it more than your first review of it. But shots fired.
I won't talk about that.
yeah. But I do really like that album. But at the same time, like it's pretty clear that even then, like it was basically Tom trying to fuse Angels and Airwaves technically more units.
Yeah. I think. Well, I think.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think the recording of Angels and Airwaves material kind of got in the way for Tom in some ways, but at the same time, I don't think it's really a full-on excuse because if you think about it, that album was supposedly just like done like a long time ago last year, and it was ready for a Halloween release, and then it got delayed, of course, until December. Yeah. But you know, the majority of that album was already written and recorded. So what was going on here? And I think Tom honestly knew the whole time that he was basically just gonna like rip the carpet out from under the guys, and just he knew his heart wasn't in it, but he kept just rolling with it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to think of something to add, but
pretty much nailed it there, didn't I?
A really interesting part to me was, I'm going to pull up the interview here because I have it in our tab, is when Mark or Travis basically said right up front that when we, and this is from Travis, when we get together, I don't know, maybe because I almost died, but he didn't even listen to mixes or masterings from that record. He didn't even care about it. Why Blink even got back together in the first place is questionable.
Yeah,
that's a quote that really is like Tom just doesn't really care.
No. I think that was one of the most chilling, I guess, moments, if you will, for me, reading through it, just because, I don't know, the whole thing, yeah, I kind of seen it coming all day, and I even tweeted out a couple of times, I think, that, I was like, something's not right. Obviously, this wouldn't have been done if there wasn't something going on, at least a little drama within the band, there was obviously a little problem. But that quote that you just quoted in particular is one that kind of jumped off the page to me and just kind of struck me right in, I don't know.
Feels.
Yeah, right in the feels, because it's someone that I used to look up to so much. Like, Blink-182 are one of the first bands that I ever got into, and I think about how much bad Tom has done for that band and for their image. It's made them look like this band that can't meet deadlines, they can't get things done, they can't meet their own commitments that they make. But the problem is, they're always having to, like they said in the interview, they're always having to apologize for that one member. And I say, honestly, good riddance to Tom if it's going to continue like that. If they can find someone that they feel can go forward as a member of Blink-182, or even if they're going to call it Blink-182 with whoever, then
Rome.
I say go for it. I say go for it.
I'm not sure if you caught me joke, but I was saying you were saying Blink-182 with, and I said Rome. But,
With Sublime with Rome, Blink-182 with Rome.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But honestly, I'd go even further and say that, I mean, as much as we're bashing Tom, both his voice and like just his general sensibilities, like whether in the newer or older eras of Blink, he is
Mm-hmm.
a very integral part of the band. And I really think like outside these shows that they already have scheduled with the guy from the Alkaline Trio, I really think that if Tom is not coming to the band, because I don't see them reconciling for a good long while after them outing him in this interview,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think Blink should just call it quits.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like. I think that, I mean, I think that what they should do is Mark and Travis should just reform Plus 44 and play Blink songs at the same time in their shows.
Yeah, because they're entitled to do that too. I mean, they're Mark wrote a lot of those songs. Obviously, Travis, especially after he joined, wrote a lot of his own drum parts and arrangements and that sort of thing, and even contributed to some of the songwriting. So I think that it's only fair that they should be allowed to play at least Blink songs. If they don't continue under the Blink-182 moniker, they should still be able to play those songs live. They should be able to, perform as if they're going to do it. If they're going to go all out with Plus 44 again, I think that's a good option, honestly.
Because it's really clear that Mark and Travis, they have it together. Like they're like, if you see like I mean, Travis doesn't do many interviews, but if you see like ones with Mark, like he's still very down to earth, very humble guy. Like he doesn't seem affected, which is pretty much the exact opposite as Tom. Like
Yeah.
with like the fact that they never talk to him so much, they just talk to his manager and his agents. Like you know what? Just bear with me here. You know that episode of Jimmy Neutron where the three of them form a band, and then Carl gets a really big ego and like has this phony British accent, and then
Yes.
and the manager following him around all the time. It's like, I want my drum solo.
Yeah, wasn't that the one
Blink-182 is
they formed
basically,
it for the talent show?
yeah,
Was it for the talent show?
yeah. Blink-182 is essentially the Long Lords of Silence right now.
Ah, man, that is a comparison that I would not have drawn in a million years, but it works. Never would have thought I would that so well.
Only in this case, Carl's the one wanting to do epic space rock odysseys about superheroes instead of Sheen.
That's true. Tom is oddly like Sheen. Huh. Who would have thought that? Guys, while we're discussing this, if you want to get some questions ready for us in the comments, if there's anything in particular that you want to see us talk about regarding the situation, or just Blink in general, or Angels and Airwaves, let us know. I think.
I mean, one thing I want to point out is. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think that there was one other part of the interview that I wanted to highlight. It was right. I think it was right near the end. No, actually, I'll point this out first. The fact that Tom was kind of trying to cover up his own tracks with this whole thing. Basically releasing that statement, the whole frenzy that it sent everyone into. Everyone was kind of spiraling out after the initial statement, obviously, of, Tom DeLonge quits Blink-182. That's the big headline everywhere. I had a video of it myself, yes. But Tom rebuttals with his own remarks saying, I never quit the band. In fact, I was, here booking a show for Blink-182, talking about a show in New York or something like that.
Yeah, and only for Mark to point out in the article that, no, you're not our booking agent. You're not booking shows. Stop lying to people.
Yeah, and whenever you have to get that harsh with your own bandmate just because they won't communicate with you, and you have to kind of call them out through a Rolling Stone interview, you know that some things are not being handled the correct way. I mean, like Tom said it himself, yeah, they're dysfunctional or whatever, but they're dysfunctional because of him. And I don't think he acknowledges that.
Yeah. Although, what I was going to say is that about reforming Plus 44, it's funny. About a year ago, I was looking at Plus 44 Wikipedia page and what they were saying about possibly reforming it, and they were like, Nah, we don't really see it happening in the future, you know? We don't really talk to the other guys in the band anymore, and at this point, I feel like they'd be grateful to have someone they actually can talk to be in a band with.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's probably going to shock them if they do get into a situation where they're actually playing with reliable members. They're probably just not going to be used to it. You know, they're going to be like, oh wow, wait, you're in the studio and you're on time and we're actually recording like when we said we were going to, and the album's actually gonna come out this summer and not summer 2 years ago.
Holy crap, we're being creative. We're coming out with like 3 albums at the same time. What's going on? I'm actually feeling creative.
Was that a Green Day reference?
No, not intentionally. But you know what I mean. Like they're gonna know what having a good creative process feels like, and it will be so weird for them.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be bouncing ideas off of each other, and guess what? They're actually gonna be in the same studio, recording at the same time. I know. Jeff just brought up a good point in the comments. He asked, do you think that Tom's been doing this shit with his Angels and Airwaves bandmates? Do you think that's why everyone's gone, Mark?
But I think it's different in a way. Like, that's a little more confusing to me because, like, I mean, to me, like, the reason why he's ignoring Blink so much is because he's focusing on Angels and Airwaves. But I don't know, maybe everyone's leaving because of his ego. I mean, because I can't think of a project that he would put above Angels and Airwaves.
No, I can't either, except for the short films that go along with it, of course.
But that's still Angels and Airwaves related.
I know, but the thing is, why are all these members leaving Tom? And like you said, I think it involves the ego. I mean, look at, there's no original members left except for Tom. And, that doesn't just happen, I don't think, for no reason. It seems suspicious.
I want my drum solo!
That's like, I think...
That's all I can think,
That's all you can think of?
Whenever I think of Tom DeLonge, that's all I can think of from this point on.
I want my drum solo. It's Tom saying, I want the spotlight, basically. Shine it on me.
Yeah. Although, ironically enough, he's leaving the project that actually gives him the spotlight. So.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, you look at the not that numbers are everything, but I mean, like, you look at the number of likes on the Angels and Airwaves page compared to the number of likes and active fans on the Blink page. There's a clear difference.
I mean, and it's not even like a been around longer thing because like Blink went on hiatus before Facebook was even invented. So.
Right, and Facebook was barely even a thing whenever Angels started, but it was, I think, and they've had plenty of time to catch up. I mean, it's been a thing for 10 years now, so.
They probably had a MySpace first.
Angel, add us on MySpace. Listen, make your song or your profile song.
I don't know what that means because I'm young. Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I want to look through some of the comments and see if there's anything interesting that people have pointed out.
I think someone's suggesting Brendan Urie replace him.
Yeah, someone's saying, a couple of people are talking about, I
don't think that would work.
I don't think it would.
It would have to be someone that actually sounds like Tom DeLonge.
Well, I don't know if they're going to find anybody that sounds just like him, but I don't think Brendan has the right kind of voice.
I mean, it would have to be like someone that at least has that like over-enunciating, like and easily kind of thing. Like maybe they can get Ben Gibbard.
Ben Gibbard of Death Cab, really? Adam Young?
I don't know.
Did you say Adam Young?
They have a similar they have a similar aesthetic to their voices. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't hear that. I don't know.
I wasn't being all that serious about it, by the way.
I was about to say, because Adam Young fronting blink-182, can you imagine? Yeah. Can you? No, Mark, think about your statement. Think about your statement. Can you imagine Adam Young on stage with blink-182 performing "I Want to Fuck a Dog in the Ass"?
He already did a collab with Mark Hoppus. It's possible.
He's like an outspoken Christian.
I know.
But I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'd go see it
Well,
if it happened.
I mean, look, I'm a Christian too. That didn't keep me from learning how to play a song on guitar.
That's the devil's music, boy. Someone's got a question. They said, Tom said he wouldn't be into any musical project. Wait, hold on. Am I reading this right? Tom said he wouldn't be into any musical project yet. In an interview, Tom said Angels and Airwaves was an art project. Do you think that has something to do about what he said? Do you? What?
An art project. I thought he was pretentious before, but
It's no longer a band. It's no longer a band.
this is not an album. This is a statement about the world, man.
Oh, Tom DeLonge is up on that high horse. I don't think he wants to come down. I
want my drum solo.
The very next comment, Tom has gotten very pretentious over the years. Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, I thought somebody said something about riffs, and I thought someone was suggesting that Riff Raff join.
You know, I actually saw a few jokes about that. I think that I saw this, like, the top comment on some post in some big music blog was, like, Riff Raff photoshopped into a picture of blink-182 over Tom DeLonge. And
Riff Raff's just going to be...
although he really just kind of looks like Travis Barker, now I think about it.
That'd be, except for the braids, though.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine them coming out on the stage with the neon icon leading the way?
I mean, I gotta be honest. A pop punk version of Cocaine would be pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing that. You know, and especially if you know, he traded off between him and Mark. The Versace Python.
Oh, and let the record show the book. Yeah. I only want to know like Dolce and Gabbana.
I don't think Riff would be the one putting on the fake Tom.
I know. That's just what came to my mind.
Yeah. Remember whenever Angels and Airwaves announced 12 different movies? Was that actually a thing?
What? They did?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Over time, they've announced so many projects. I don't know if it's exactly 12, but that does sound about right. Tom always announces like all these films that are going to go along with it, and I think only like 2 or 3 have actually happened. Like Start the Machine. What else is there? Poet Anderson.
I think the real problem now is that Tom just really wants to be Steven Spielberg.
Oh, did you hear?
Thing. He just has new interests entirely.
Oh, did you hear that Tom is actually going to be co-producing Jurassic Park? And scoring it. Yep. I think he's going to be doing a remix. Oh yeah, no. He's going to be doing a remix of "I Miss You" for this really intense scene between the dinosaurs that fall in love.
Okay, I see how it is. I actually believed you for a second.
Oh really? I'm pretty convincing.
No, I legitimately believed you for like 5 seconds.
Well, that's good that I'm that convincing. I need to. What else?
I was about to say, like, why didn't get the same amount of fanfare as when Trent Reznor is directing or scoring a movie?
Tom DeLonge, Jurassic World. Do you really think that would work? He just does vocals for the entire score. Like he just sings like the actual music notes.
Excuse me, go Tumblr for a second, but I literally can't even.
Literally, he can't.
Oh my god!
Apparently, there was supposed to be a short film for I, Empire, and it never happened. So I
I
thought,
Empire.
yeah,
I wonder if anyone's ever done like some mashup called I Empire Strikes Back
the I
for the
Empire
unreleased
strikes
movie.
back.
For the unreleased movie,
Yeah.
just like put Tom's face over the characters. All day.
Oh, I just glanced over, and I'm noticing my Blink-182 vinyl and my CDs, and I'm yeah.
Crying on the inside and the
Let's have
outside.
okay. I want to have a sincere moment here because I'm actually I don't think I haven't announced this yet, but I'm coming up in March of this year. It will be exactly 10 years since I fell in love with music, just like, obviously all the bands that kind of got me started, Green Day, Blink-182, System of a Down, all that good stuff. But I'm planning on doing a kind of a video, kind of looking back at that, kind of just like a 10 years with music type thing, and just recalling some of my first memories and just how everything made me feel. And today it got me thinking back to the first time that I heard Blink-182, and just about it really did. It kind of made an impact on me because I hadn't really had any exposure to pop punk music before, and Blink were kind of that band for me. My cousin showed me Blink-182. I didn't have that wasn't one of like the very very first bands that I got on like my first mix CD ever, but Blink was there like within like the first month of when I started getting into things, and Adam's song was the very first song I ever heard by Blink-182, and I just sat there and I was kind of at first I was a little bit confused on it, but I left it on repeat for a little bit, and that one started clicking with me. And then of course you got the more upbeat songs like Josie, Reckless Abandon, and then even some tracks like I Miss You. And then it just felt like from that point out, like I found something like completely special. It's something that kind of changed my, not changed my view, but kind of opened my view to like a whole new genre of music, and I know that a lot of people discredit them or discredit pop punk and that style of music in general. But I don't know. They're one of the bands that kind of laid the building blocks for me to open up a lot of new doors whenever it came to exploring different territories in music, and I'm always going to be grateful to them for that. But I think what hurts me most here today and what was getting to me earlier is just how Mark and Travis are so proud of their accomplishments and everything that they've done in their years as a band, and all the lives that they've helped shape and all the musical influence that they've had over people and other bands. And then just Tom just like doesn't care, just kind of throws it all away. He doesn't even like. If I met him in person, I wouldn't even know what to say to him because I genuinely wouldn't think that he would want to hear it. Like, oh, your album, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. There were so many songs on there that helped me through this time or whatever, and like made me laugh whenever I needed it. I feel like he wouldn't even really care because it's turned into something that, as we said earlier, is just kind of more of like a burden or something he was a little bit ashamed of. So I think that's the hardest part about this whole Blink thing for me, because it's just looking at it full circle 10 years now that I've been into Blink. It's just kind of sad to see that one of the members, once again, is just kind of throwing it all down the drain. That was long, I'm sorry. You expecting me to sing?
No, I was.
I was making sure. I was making sure.
I mean, you could hear me kind of faintly palm muting it in the background.
Yeah, very, very faintly.
Very dramatic effect.
Mark, what can you offer me on your story with Blink? Your origin story.
Like in 2010, a friend of mine liked them, so I listened to them. I thought they were good. He got me digital copies of their albums. I thought they were good.
And that was Mark. That was Mark's first
And
stick.
the rest is history. And now we're here.
Now we're here 5 years later. So that's still, for you, as someone that got into music a little bit later, started the 5 years is a long time for you in a band to kind of be a thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 5 years ago would have been, it was like 13, 14. So.
Yeah. So naturally, it's kind of a big deal for you, basically.
Yeah. Like I kind of marked 2009 as like the first year I started like, because 2004 is when I got my first albums, and like there were a few bands I like. If I was in a store and I saw an album from, I'd pick it up. But 2009 is when I started really paying attention to music. 2011 especially was when I got fell head first into it, and yeah, I guess Blink's just kind of been a fixture in a lot of that time, and it just kind of sucks to see it coming apart like this.
Yeah, and it's not to use the word tacky. I mean, it looks tacky at this point just to have it all coming out like this, but really it's the only way that it all can come out, and I'm glad that they actually just didn't just tease us and just kind of beat around the bush about it. They actually kind of came right out instead of everything.
Like, I have so much, I already had a ton of respect for the other two members of the band, but now I have even more. So the fact that they're finally saying there's no secrets to this band anymore. That the fans, regardless of how it affects their personal relationships, the fans need to know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's first and foremost, and I think that they understand that. They wanted to get answers, and Mark's just on Twitter earlier, he's just look, guys, here it is. We went ahead. We knew we were gonna have to do this. So here's the full Rolling Stone interview. This is everything. This is it right here. So go check it out.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, I really think that they should just cut off at this point. If Tom does come back to Blink, it'll be extremely begrudgingly, and then we'll just go through this whole cycle again, 2-3 more times over the next decade, if that. I really think that at this point, Blink should just stop. They should just call it a day, because Mark and Travis were talking about making sure their legacy is good, and I really think that the best thing for their legacy and for people discovering them in the future is for them to just bow out now, cut all the drama, cut ties to him, cut ties to Tom. See if he comes crawling back after Angels and Airwaves' 10th album bombs.
Yeah.
And just go on as Plus 4, or maybe just a two-piece band so they don't have to worry about anything. They go Death from Above style. They could just go on and without any problems. Really, I think that'd be the best course of action at this point.
Yeah, I think you're right about them maintaining the legacy and everything, and go out with grace if it's going to happen, because we all know it's going to.
Exactly.
But
because we don't want this to be the Kiss of this generation,
Yeah. But then again, people can change. Blink are a little bit older, so it's a little different, and I don't want to throw any comparisons to Fall Out Boy in there, but Fall Out Boy broke up, or went on hiatus. Sorry, they never broke up, but they went on hiatus for almost 4 years, and they came back, and they all have a better appreciation for each other. I mean, they've recorded 2 albums together, toured nonstop, and seem to all still be getting along quite well. And they split everything 4 ways. Everything is credited evenly to every member of the band, and I think that that's how you should do it. And I feel like if Blink could come to some sort of agreement like that, which I don't think they will, but I'm saying I feel like that would be what would solve some more of the problems if everybody just felt like they were an equal member,
Exactly, but if we could, because just so I can play devil's advocate about the Fall Out Boy comparison, I think that where it differs is that Now, correct me if I'm wrong, since I was never into Fall Out Boy until they reunited, because I was on like the emo hate bandwagon and stuff.
Right.
But emo, which I really are now. But anyway, I'm digressing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there was never like a huge ego. Like even though Pete Wentz was kind of in the spotlight, I feel like they all kind of kept it in check over time, and there was just like various like outside stuff and personal stuff, and just like other factors going up outside the band's control, going into why they ended up calling it quits for a few years. And then once they like had it all together, like they were always self-aware about it. I'd like to think.
Yeah.
Am I wrong about any of this? Like,
No.
because I feel like with Fall Out Boy, like it was more possible. Like whereas with this stuff, like it seems like Tom is just like beyond repair.
Oh, no. I absolutely agree. That's why I was saying I don't think that it will happen with Tom.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying that like idealistically, that's what I would want to see happen for Blink. I think that they would. That's what I would in a utopian universe. I would want to see happen is for all of them to get equal credit. But I'm saying Tom will not allow that to happen. So.
Yeah, and as long as we're doing comparison, okay.
Oh, I was just going to say, somebody said, I was just going to clarify something I said, Fall Out Boy never hated each other. Maybe not, someone said that in the comments, maybe not hate, but they definitely didn't appreciate each other, and their relationships with each other had definitely deteriorated, especially kind of with Pete. And I don't think Patrick were getting along very well, and they didn't speak very much in those years off, so maybe they didn't hate each other, but there was definitely some distaste there.
Yeah, but I feel like there is definitely a difference though, because like I feel like it was just like less extreme. It was just like a creative conflict, as opposed to like as opposed to like a couple normal guys, then one guy up in the stratosphere.
Yeah, but Fall Out Boy, another thing, I think burned themselves out.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Although, and oddly enough, with both bands, I actually have the unpopular opinion that the one they released before their hiatus is their best album, unrelated. But also, as long as we're drawing comparisons, what I don't think will happen is that I don't think that this will be like a Paramore situation, where they just like ditch the members that are causing the problems and then just go on and become bigger than ever, because Tom is just such an integral. And I know I'm answering questions that haven't been asked, but I feel like it's in some people's minds that might happen. But again, like I said earlier, Tom is such an integral part of the band that it just wouldn't feel right. Whereas with other cases, it seemed to have worked out fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a Paramore situation at all because, Haley Williams is still there. Paramore could probably be Paramore with Haley Williams and any members, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's a little bit.
I don't know. I really like that's just me, but I feel like I don't think they wouldn't still be. I wouldn't really respect them as much if Haley was just like, all right, you guys are replaceable, let's get more. But I'm saying that if anybody can learn those songs, is what I'm saying. If it really came down to it.
I guess, but yeah. I want to throw out some kind of comparison to Smashing Pumpkins because I know there is one to be made, but I'm trying to think of what it is.
Smashing Pumpkins only has one remaining member.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm like, yeah. Do
you think that's eventually going to be more common?
I know there is something there. It's like I feel like what people accuse Billy Corgan of being is really what Tom DeLonge is, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I guess so, to an extent.
I don't know. I'm trying to analyze this further.
You're trying to draw lines that aren't there, Mark. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, because we all just love them clickbait headlines.
Hey, apparently clickbait headlines work, because this is our highest rated hangout that we've ever had.
Swag, son. Swag.
Yep. Can we take a moment to celebrate that and thank you guys for tuning in?
Oh wait. Let me serenade the.
Mark, what did we say?
I didn't say you have to sing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just soundtracking your what you're about to say.
My moment. um, what I was about to say is I was going to respond to somebody and say, do we think that there's a chance that Blink-182 are going to kind of pull like a Sublime with Rome, or like we mentioned earlier, or something else like that, or like Queen with Adam Lambert, for example? Do you think that?
I think that I think Mark and Travis have way too much integrity for that.
I would hope, but
because I mean, I feel like with those other bands, like they're just coasting off of like, and funny things like even with Sublime, like I feel like I heard a couple of years ago like the drummer left because he just couldn't do it like that anymore.
Yeah, there's like no
so
one left.
Really, so it's like a third of Sublime and Rome.
Yep. Eventually, it's just gonna be Rome with Rome.
Yeah. He's just gonna clone himself twice and Rome or When in Rome.
When in Rome, featuring 2 holographs and 1 actual person, holograms and 1.
You know what? I have a kind of mini theory that if Blink didn't already have these shows booked, then they wouldn't have even bothered with replacements. Like they would have just stopped. I really think so.
It's possible. It's definitely possible because I think that with them bringing in Matt Skiba, it's just them wanting to fulfill those commitments that they had, and that just shows that they are dedicated to Blink and how much they wanted to make this work. They were on board. They were ready to start recording. They were ready to go play these shows, and I think that, yeah, they're probably just carrying it out because, you know, like, hey, we're not going to let the fans down. But honestly, this could be it. You know, this could be the final Blink shows, at least for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. All I know is that, for better or worse, the Alkaline Trio is gonna get a lot more publicity, shall we say? I feel like at this point, like, I feel like this is gonna be one of those things where, like, 5 years down the road, when Alkaline Trio is releasing like their, I don't know how many albums they put out, let's just say their 8th album or whatever, because I never really got into them, but they're releasing their next album in like 2019. And the top comment, there's like hundreds of comments, and the top comment is, "I still hate him for replacing Tom DeLonge."
Or Tom was better.
Yeah. It's like how in Linkin Park threads, like the top comment in like metal blogs is remember that whole thing with Sublime with Rome?
You dropped off. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear what you said. You dropped off after you said the top comment was.
Dang it! Suspense. Okay, so there's hundreds of comments, and the top comment is Thomas better. Did you hear? So it's like when like a year after it happened, like if you go to Linkin Park post in like a metal blog, the top comment now is always Linkin Narc. Because it always goes back to Rome.
See, that's why I don't like reading through comments a lot of times, just because you always make me do it. You're always like, read through this comment section, lose faith in humanity. I don't like doing that because I always do. I always lose a little faith in humanity because people are so ignorant. It hurts. It really, really does. And whenever people think they have like something completely right, and then you can provide them with actual information, but it's not even worth it because they're still going to think they're right. That's just modern commenters.
Exactly. And, although I will say it's kind of funny seeing like the disparity, because like when we were starting this hangout, like 3 sites in a row posted like simultaneously about this Rolling Stone interview, and like alt press is like you know, kind of the generic, kind of like the general like I don't know, but they're generally really snobby, so it's kind of changed base. Anyway, Consequence of Sound was just like a bunch of hipsters bashing Blink to begin with.
Yep.
Like it was always, what a legacy of dick jokes. Who, for a band with a 10 million like page. Hashtag boy band problems. Absolutely zero fucks were given that day. Lamest feuds ever.
See,
They're
that's the
still a
thing.
band. Well, hashtag emo problems. You know.
Read me no more, Mark. Read me no more, because
And then you go on Absolute Punk, and it's actually half reasonable.
well, that's because I feel like people there, I think that Consequence of Sound in some ways gets cluttered with like, well, I get, obviously all of these, they all posted it. All three of those places posted the link, but they all have a very different target demographic. Yeah, well, no, yeah, I was going to say target demographic just because of the people who read and listen to what they have to say. And on Consequence of Sound, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, like, or with any of them, really, they're going to come there expecting a certain thing, and that if they don't get that and they still post about it, then it's just the comment section is all bashing. Like if Papa Roach was posted about, like, not that I would, have a problem with this, I might join in on it, but no, that's a bad example. If
Not that I have a problem with people posting about Papa Roach.
No, not that I have a problem with people bashing Papa Roach. I'm trying to think of a better example. Okay, if Panic at the Disco got an article about them on Consequence of Sound, how do you think that would go over with the readers?
If you press Control F, you'd find at least 500, and if you press Control F and then put in emo, you get like 500 results, and that's only if there was 50 comments.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
Like, what is it, 2005 again?
Yeah, and that's where I go back to the modern commenters, is that why are you there if you're there to just, okay, yeah, so you like the Consequence of Sound page, that's great, but just because you see something doesn't mean that you have to click on it. That's a whole different story. Not getting into that.
Let me just say this. That it's almost like when someone sees a news story of an artist they're not personally a fan of, they just, their scroll button breaks. And they have no choice but to pass time by commenting in it.
And replying to a bunch of comments as well, calling people idiots and etc. Like, you don't know anything about music, or wow, well, why aren't you listening to the new War on Drugs album? Why are you listening to this crap?
Perfume genius, man.
Do you even Too Bright? Have you even heard Too Bright? No, I didn't think so. Okay. Go back to blink-182's, pussy.
No, listen, man, I was about to listen to this here Decemberist album, and then I heard about this freaking 90s boy band problems, and I just don't even care,
Jeff brings up a good point here. He said Fall Out Boy got some decent coverage on Consequence of Sound with Save Rock and Roll and got shit for it. So now all the coverage of Fall Out Boy is now by people who hate it.
I noticed that. And I read the review of Paxan Days. They gave it like a B.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
You know what? One thing I noticed that I talked to you about for a little bit is, you noticed last year, because you don't have their page liked, right?
I do.
Consequence of Sound.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because like if you saw their Gaslight Anthem coverage last year, right?
Yeah.
Like there was like they have like a, for lack of a better term, a hate boner for Gaslight Anthem now.
Oh, that's kind of like how they used to have a love boner for the White Stripes and Jack White and anything that he was doing. Jack White looks angry while throwing out a pitch at baseball game. Jack White looks angry in the crowd.
Well, I mean, I feel like they kind of still do, but
they probably do.
Yeah, it's just he happened to be promoting an album then, so they had to stir up the clicks. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, because like I remember like every post about the Gaslight Anthem about them was like, their new album isn't very good, but, and then like whatever it was gonna be, and then like the review of it, they gave it like a D, and it was just like some of the descriptions of songs were like objectively wrong. Like they called Rollin' and Tumblin' new metal or post grunge or something.
New metal?
It was either new metal or post grunge. Either way.
Does it work? Who reviewed the album if they called it new metal?
Well, it was probably, actually, now I think about it, it was post grunge, but either way.
Okay, I was about to say new metal is really, really extremely out there.
But kind of equally wrong though. Like, right.
Yeah. Did you see this, Mark? It says in the comments. It says Max Bemis confirmed as new member of blink-182. 666, I need fix.
If anything, I see Max Bemis joining Angels and Airwaves for Blink.
No, I got it. You know, he's got the song 666. He could just change it to 222. Blink-182. 222. Blink-182.
And we call, and the album would be called He Twos.
He blinks. Yeah, you laugh.
And we called trying to think of a pun for one of the songs. I give
Nope, it's not coming. So, hey, you were right about the Alkaline Trio blowing up. Someone just said that all of the Alkaline Trio shows that are coming up this May are already sold out.
Wow. You know what? I want. You know what? Hang on a second. I'm gonna go to Alkaline Trio's page, and I'm gonna see what the wall posts are.
Oh God, this could be bad.
It's gonna be a war zone.
Oh.
Some of my friends like their page. Huh. Okay. Let's see here.
Someone's speculating that Tom DeLonge is going to take join U2, you know, in the event that Donna's no longer in the band because of his injury.
Okay. I don't see any crap. It's all people tagging. See, that's the problem with looking through wall posts of a page, is that like it's all people mentioning it, and you got to take a while to find like one that's actually a post to the page. Dang it. Well, crap. Anyway, there goes that.
Yeah, you dropped the ball on that one. I'm gonna. Yeah. I feel like we have like missed a lot of the comments. I feel like I've missed out on a lot of things here. So before I got to wrap this up here in just a few minutes, but I want to go through and get a couple of comments and see what's going on. Someone said Mark should join Angels and Airwaves.
I would make them so much better.
Yeah, it would, but like, why would that ever happen? Oh, I love some of these comments. I love how creative people get.
I mean, I wouldn't have to travel far for practice, I guess. I'd take it. I'm desperate for collaborators at this point, man. So
yeah.
I'll take anything I can get.
Have you seen anything in here that you're not? I bet you're not even looking at the comments, are you, Mark?
No, I kind of gave up on like the split screen thing. It's just in 2 different tabs now.
Oh,
remember next time. You know, funny thing, I actually did a hangout. I remember I'm not sure if you were in it too, but I did a hangout with Mark once. I'm pretty sure it was after the train review. I could be wrong though. Like after he stopped recording. I mean, he said that he's just completely indifferent on Blink.
No, I was there for that.
Okay, so now I'm just thinking like us making all this hubbub, and it's just like this new Lupe Fiasco album.
I know. I was about to say that. He was like, "So my new Lupe review, though, it's out."
As long as we kind of exhausted the topic, Lupe album. I know it's technically good, but it's so frustrating.
Mark. You gonna vent about Lupe right now? Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say you brought it up, but I brought it up.
You
So,
did. Mm-hmm. Wow. Great.
That'd be kind of underhanded if I changed the topic because of that.
That would be.
I'm done.
Mhm.
So what else do you have on your mind?
I am honestly, I need to wrap things up because it is 12:45, almost my time, and your boy ARTV got to get to bed because he's got work tomorrow, and I gotta come home and potentially shoot a new review. I'm probably fingers crossed, I'm going to be doing a couple of re-reviews this week. So to everyone that's been wondering about that, it's probably going to happen. So I'm going to be tackling stuff like there's several albums that I really want to do re-reviews on because I hate myself when I go back and watch the other ones. So I'm talking like Danger Days, My Chemical Romance, Wasting Light, Foo Fighters.
You know, the funny thing is that Wasting Light's the first video I saw from you.
Really? And you
Think
actually
about that.
subscribed off of that?
Not yet.
Oh,
Not at that point. It was like a couple months went by. I was like, I saw the video. I was like, okay, this guy isn't terrible. I'm not Fandango level, but you know. Then I waited a couple months. And I was like, okay, this one's half decent. Eh.
What did you subscribe on?
I don't remember.
Really. You don't remember? I remember.
It was something in 2011.
You know, it's funny. It's funny that I'll go back and like I'll look through. I'll be like looking through an old video for some reason. Then I'll like see you in the comments, and I'll be like, "Oh, that was Mark."
Oh yeah.
Why be Mark?
You know what? I remember a few weeks ago, like I made a joke about a band, and then you linked me to a video where I made that exact same joke like 3 years ago.
Yeah, and I was like, "Come up with something more original."
Well, I mean, if I came up with it, then if it's my original, then.
Well, you're ripping off yourself.
Does that really count though?
Yes, it counts. Real quick, hey, in the comments.
It's like, I mean, it's like when John. I'm gonna alienate the audience now, but it's like when John Fogerty with a Creedence Clearwater Revival song.
Whenever what?
Never mind.
No, you cut out. You cut out for a second.
Oh, I was saying, and I was saying it's like when John Fogerty was sued for copying a CCR song, whatever.
And like whenever Sam Smith had to pay royalties to Tom Petty for "Stay With Me."
Yeah. I mean, look at them melodically; they are pretty similar.
Yeah, but I feel like Tom's reaching. He's just reaching for the.
Well, I mean, he didn't do the same thing with the Red Chili Peppers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, with
or the Strokes. Or the Strokes.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is more just like his people doing this, because there was never like a word from Tom or anything.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, how often does Tom Petty really address?
Well, actually, he has been a lot. Actually, he has been a lot more vocal, like in the promotion for this new album. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like if you saw his interview with Q, the Canadian show, it's really interesting.
So he gets a lot more vocal.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he's a lot more politically outspoken too, which I think is pretty interesting. But although now it's the kind of irony that now he's getting money for this, but anyway. Anyway, anything else?
No. I think that's. I think we pretty much covered everything. I hope everyone enjoyed our little hangout. I know we dived into some other subjects too, but the main thing that we want to leave with you guys is that it's a very disappointing time for a band that we both love, and it kind of sucks to see everything that happened with Tom DeLonge and his departure from Blink. So obviously, if you've got any other thoughts, leave them in the comments section down below. I'm going to update the description right after we end this hangout. I'm going to put Mark's channel down there, of course, all of my links, and of course the link to the Rolling Stone story if you want more information.
Yeah. You know what? With the story, it's just I'm not gonna be able to sleep when I think about this. Just like all these demons, they keep me up all night.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Until next time, I'm ARTV. That's Spin It Reviews on the guitar.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm gonna read the numbers.
What? I almost closed it out on a perfect. I almost closed it on a perfect note, and you had to come in and interject that. I had you the smoothest sailing outro ever, and now we gotta end it like this.
It's okay. Oh yeah, okay. Let's rewind. Let's rewind. Okay. Keep me up all night. Okay, good.
I don't remember what I did.